Yeah.
Hi guys, Happy Conscious Gal here. I hope you can hear me over the crazy insect noises in the background. It's quite extraordinary today. Maybe it's mating season. I didn't want to record this inside because my partner's asleep, so hopefully you can hear me. I wanted to report because it's been probably over a week since I've done a kind of normal vlog telling you how my round is going. I did the crazy 50s vlog, which I know a lot of you saw and was a lot of fun to make. And thank you so much for all your comments. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. It's probably the funniest vlog I've ever done. But look, I'm in colour again. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the news I've got to share today is really about the fact that I have actually been having a very long stall. I mean, a really long stall. Now, I haven't vlogged about it because I made a conscious choice to not think of it as a problem. I didn't want to worry about it or really fret about it, so I just put it out of my mind, the fact that the numbers really haven't gone down for about 2 weeks on the scales. And for about the first 10 days of the stall, I was just really not thinking about it. I mean, it's been a really good exercise for me in staying positive, and I thought if I start vlogging about it, making a big deal of it, then I'm turning it into a problem, and it's really not a problem. But now, after 14 days of this stall, I'm kind of starting to look at it a bit deeper and see, is there something under it? Is there something going on? Do I need to change anything about how I'm doing the protocol? I think at this point it's worth looking at. But I do want to say from the outset that I really am choosing to come from a place of trust on this protocol. You know, I really trust that HCG works. I've seen it dramatically change my body shape this year. I'm the slimmest I've ever been in my whole life, and I have been now for quite a few months. And that tells me that it's working. So I really believe it's important to trust the process fully when you're doing it, and also to trust that it is a holistic process. It's not a linear journey. It's not like your weight goes down, 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 down until the end. It's not like that. It's holistic, you know. There may be days where your weight doesn't go down on the scales, but other stuff is happening internally in terms of your fat metabolism, your leptin system, you know, the whole way your body uses fluid, the way your body's storing muscle, the way it's releasing fat. You know, it's a whole system that's being changed every day. And sometimes that gets reflected with a change on the scales. Sometimes that gets reflected with a change in your measurements. Sometimes it's just an internal change and we can't observe it. And I think the problem with HCG is in the earlier rounds when we're heavier, we have a lot of fat on our body, we see a lot of external evidence that things are shifting. You know, you see huge drops every day on the scales, and it becomes very addictive. And I've noticed in this final round that I'm doing that, you know, obviously my numbers are much smaller. I don't have that much fat left. I've probably only got 5 or 6 pounds of fat on my body left. And I'm choosing to go to the end and see what my body looks like without those. But you don't have the massive drops every day on the scale, so you don't get the kind of feeding of your addiction of seeing this evidence. So you have to find trust at a deeper level. It's easy to have trust when the numbers are going down every day. And so for me, I've been able to maintain that trust because luckily I take a lot of measurements. You guys have seen my crazy measurement chart where I measure like 20 different places on my body every single day. And this discipline that I have of doing this, that I've been doing all year, has finally paid off because in this round, I really needed to see this. Because, as I said, I'm not seeing much change on the scales. So I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that, what I mean by this stall. So today is Monday. So let's start from Tuesday. 2 weeks ago, Tuesday, I was 60.3 kilograms. The next day, my weight was 60.1, then back up to 60.3, then back down to 60.1, then 59.6 is when I got all excited, made my 1950s vlog and all that. 59.6 again, 59.8, 60.1, 59.8, 60, 59.9, 60, 60.3, 60. So you can see I've been bouncing around for 2 whole weeks around 60, from 59.6 up to 60.3, within that range. So it's a 0.7 of a kilogram range, so what's that, about just over a pound and a half range. So it's been going like this within a pound for about 2 weeks. If I didn't measure myself, I really would be depressed because it would be like nothing's moved. But because I measure myself, I could see that during that time, things were still shifting. So that's the Tuesday when I started 60.3. These yellow things are all places that went down. So I had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places went down. Then the second day, 2 places went down. The third day of the stall, 3 places went down. Fourth day of the stall, 7 places went down. Fifth day of the stall, didn't lose any measurements. Sixth day of the stall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places went down. Next day of the stall, 1 place went down. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places went down. And then 3 places went down. So as of 4 days ago, I was still having quite big changes in my measurements. So parts of my body were shrinking still. So I wasn't really worrying about the stall, which is why I haven't blogged about it, or until today I haven't posted about it on my MyFitnessPal or Facebook, because I didn't consider it a stall. Yeah, my weight was staying the same, but obviously my body was reshaping itself, which is one of the things that happens as you get closer to your goal. And those of us who've read Pounds and Inches will remember the story of the Emaciated Lady who came in, really, really skinny face, skinny chest, skinny tummy, skinny everything, and she was sitting behind the desk and he was like, why is this woman here? She's skinny, you can see her bones, she looks gaunt. And then she stood up and she had this massive bottom and massive thighs because she was a pear shape, and all her years of dieting had sucked all the fat off her upper body, but she was still very overweight in her lower body. And he says in the protocol, this is really worth remembering, that he gave her a round of HCG and she completely redistributed her fat so that by the end she looked like a normal slim person, not fat in the bottom, not skinny in the top, just even everywhere. And the point that he made, which is one sentence in Pounds and Inches, but it's a really important sentence, is that throughout that transformation in her looks, her weight on the scale stayed exactly the same. She didn't lose 1 ounce of 1 pound. So I remember that, and I was saying to myself, okay, well, my body's obviously doing that. And what's also been interesting in that same period until 4 days ago, when I was still going down in measurements, was my fat and muscle ratio, which my scales measure. My muscle's been going up as my fat's been going down. And I think the reason is on this round, like on all my rounds, I eat a lot of protein. I eat higher protein than most people, and I don't eat any Melbas or anything, and I don't eat much fruit. My body does very well on protein. Because before I did this round, I had a few weeks in bed with a bad back and wasn't unable to move or walk. I lost a lot of muscle off my body in that month. And so when I started this round, I had less muscle on me than last round. And so I weighed a little bit less, but I had higher amounts of fat. And so what I've seen happen over this round is all the muscle has started to come back on because I'm eating so much protein powder, so much fish, so much eggs. And also I've been moving around a lot, been out and about. I've been living a very full life during this round. So just being on my feet so much, muscle's gone back into my legs. So what's happened is I'm slightly heavier than I was because I have more muscle on me, but my fat's gone down relative to the muscle. So during that 10 days of the stall, I was like, okay, well, I don't care. As long as my muscle's going up, my fat's going down, I'm happy. In the last 4 days, you'll see here, it's not any yellow really, because I think one spot went down once. But basically for 4 days, there's been no movement on measurements. So I'm noticing within myself this little voice of like, maybe something's wrong, maybe I'm doing something wrong, kind of voice of doubt, which is human. It creeps in. But then I remind myself, trust the protocol. It works. That's the bottom line. It's worked so far. Maybe my body's doing some other internal processes to rejig my fat metabolism. Maybe it's needing a rest from shedding fat. Who knows? So then I checked in, okay, well, I haven't hit the hunger yet, so I'm not at the end. So rule that out. I haven't been cheating. I've been eating pretty much what I always eat on the protocol. I did have a few days with some abnormal food. I got Tom, and I did eat a little piece of chocolate delight both days on Tom. And then the 2 days after that, I was at this massive hippie festival for the sort of ending of the Mayan calendar here in Byron Bay. It was televised around the world with thousands of people, with amazing speakers from around the world, and singing and dancing. It was just epic. And I was at that for a couple of days. And because I was out from like 5 a.m., there were sunrise ceremonies, and I was out till very late at night. I got hardly any sleep. I was so hungry. I thought I need to have some macadamia nuts because I don't want to be tempted to buy food at the festival. So I actually snacked on a few macadamia nuts both those days. But I didn't gain anything. Obviously, I was still stalled, but I didn't gain anything. So I had 4 days where I had a bit of chocolate delight 2 days and macadamia nuts 2 days. So that may have contributed. But since that finished, the last couple of days I've been back strict on my normal food, my normal eggs, my normal fish, my normal one vegetable, my normal protein powder smoothie that I always have. So I don't think it's the food. I had introduced for a while there something similar to what I had the last 2 rounds. Last 2 rounds I found something in Australia. It was an amazing kind of quark, which is a dairy product, super high protein, no fat, no carbs, very low calorie, just pure protein. And it's a fermented dairy and it's really healthy. And I was having that a little bit every now and then on my previous 2 rounds, and it never stalled me. It was fantastic and it really helped me if I was hungry. I can't find that here where I've moved to. The brand that I was buying was a very organic, raw, real dairy, nothing from the supermarket, nothing with pus in it like normal dairy, so it was really healthy. I haven't been able to find that here. So in desperation for some extra protein, I went to the supermarket, big mistake, and bought a zero-fat cottage cheese, which was very low calorie. It was like a Weight Watchers one. High protein, low calorie, low fat. I thought it would be the same as the quark. So I was eating a bit of that a lot over the last 10 days, just a little bit, not much, but maybe 40 grams. Maximum I ever ate was 100 grams. But looking back over the stall, I thought, maybe that didn't help, and so I got my partner to muscle test it because he's really good at muscle testing. And yes, we found out it's not good for me. It hasn't probably done that much damage, but it's a very super processed fake food from a supermarket, and my body doesn't do well with fake food. So I've cut that out a few days, 4 or 5 days ago. So if that was causing it, it's gone now. My weight hasn't shifted anyway, so I don't think it was really the problem, but I'm glad that I took it out. So I don't think it's the food that's causing the stall. I haven't hit the hunger yet, so that's not the reason. It's not that I'm at the end. I haven't been cheating.